again, my little yarnivores and spiderettes. Fiber Spider back again with another tutorial just for you. And today it is the spatter stitch. Very, very simple. It is only a 2-row repeat. It is easy. It is lacy. It is simple. Who could ask for anything more? So for this particular stitch, it was a size I 5.5 millimeter hook, and the weight of this yarn is a weight of 3. It was Lion Brand's Ice Cream, the big scoops, in the colorway of, I believe, Black Cherry. And I was just, working on a swatch here. So it would make a really lovely scarf. It would make an incredible blanket, especially a baby blanket. It would be gorgeous. Now, today's example, going to be using, this is some Pound of Love, and I believe this is their pumpkin spice colorway. And I'm going to be going up a hook size to a size 6 millimeter hook, a size J for today. You can, of course, use whatever works best for you. And by the way, this video is not sponsored, but I always like to let you know what yarn it is that I'm using in case if you want to duplicate the results. So, without further ado, let's get started. Okie dokie. So for your base chain, you are going to need a multiple of 6 plus an additional 2 chains. So what I did was I did 3 multiples of 6. That's 18 stitches, 18 chains, plus an additional 2. So I have a total of 20 chains. So you can make this project as wide or as narrow as you want to, dealer's choice. And so what I want you to do is figure out how wide you want your piece to be. I always suggest start off with a swatch, see if you like it, and then go in, then go big, as it were. But yeah, so I'm going to be doing, it's 20 chains for this particular swatch. And so do your chains, and I will meet back up with you. Multiple of 6 plus an additional 2, and I will see you in a bit. Okay, so row 1. Row 1 is going to get us started, and then the actual repeat, it's rows 2 and 3. So to begin with, into the second chain from the hook, single crochet. And then skipping the next 2 chains, going into that third chain with a double crochet. Okay, chain 2, double crochet into that same chain, chain 2, and double crochet into that same chain once again. Okay, then skip another 2 chains, single crochet into the next, skip 2 chains, and then into the third, we're going to do another grouping of 3. So skip 2 chains, double crochet into the third, chain 2, double crochet into the same stitch, chain 2, and double crochet into the same stitch. Skip 2 chains into the third chain, single crochet, get your yarn untangled. Okay. All right, so skip the next 2 chains going into the third with a double crochet. Chain 2, double crochet into the same stitch, chain 2, double crochet into the same stitch, and at this point I have 3 chains left over, so skipping the next 2 and single crocheting into the last chain. And there you go. So that is the end of row 1. Row 2. Okay, now some people, they like to chain up 3 for the equivalent to a double crochet. And yes, technically you could do that. However, I like to have it a little bit more structured, a little bit neater. So I like to chain up 2 for my double crochets. Again, personal preference, it's up to you. So we need a double crochet and a chain 2 space. So I'm going to chain up 4. You can chain up 5, whichever you prefer. I'm going to chain up 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's going to be my double crochet and chain 2 space. Then into this single crochet, make a double crochet. Okay. And then into this middle double crochet stitch, do a single crochet stitch. There we go. Single crochet stitch. So basically on the end here, we have half of one of those clusters of 3 that we had before. Okay, so now scooting down here into our single crochet stitch right in here, that single crochet stitch. Also, sometimes it helps if you just sort of separate your grouping of 3, and it's that stitch right in the middle there. It can be a little bit tricky to see, but once you get the hang of it, it's actually quite easy. So after doing your single crochet into that single crochet from the previous row, do a double crochet into that single crochet stitch. So we've got a double, chain 2, double into the same single crochet stitch, chain 2, and double into that same stitch again. So this is how we're doing the offset of the clusters, if you will. I'm going to call them clusters. They're kind of like clusters, kind of like fans, but whatever. So then single crochet into that middle double crochet. So single crochet into the double. And then going back down here into that single crochet, do a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet into the same stitch, chain 2, and double crochet into the same stitch. Single crochet into the middle, the second of our double crochets. So single crochet into there. And then into the single crochet at the end, do a double crochet, chain 2, and a double crochet. So it's all about the symmetry. There you go. So that's the end of row 2. Row 3. Okay, so we just did our arch. So right now we're going to start off with a chaining up of 1. Turn the work. Single crochet into the top of that double crochet. So it's sort of like row 1, sort of, but not quite, because we're not working into a chain, we're working into actual stitches. So after chaining up 1 and doing your single crochet into the first stitch, find your single crochet right there and double crochet into that single crochet, chain 2, double into that same stitch, chain 2, and double into the same stitch. Okay, single into the center double, and then find the single down below right there. So into that single, do a double, chain 2, double into the same stitch, chain 2, and double into the same stitch. It's always 3 doubles separated by chain 2 spaces for our groupings. Okay, single into the middle double, into the single down below, double, chain 2, double, chain 2, and double. Okay, and then at the end here, now since I chained 4, okay, I'm going to be going into the second chain from the bottom. That's 1 and 2. So into that second chain, going to be doing a single crochet into that second chain underneath both loops. Now, if you, on the other hand, if you chained 5, you would do your single crochet into the third chain from the bottom. You want to maintain these 2 chains here. You want to leave these 2 alone. So whether you did a chaining up of 3 for your double or a chaining up of 2 for your double, either way is fine. You know, totally up to you. So that is the end of row 3. So now, yes, we are going to do a full repeat because I like to be thorough and I like to walk you through it because, well, I like to be thorough. I can't help it. So let's do a repeat of rows 2 and 3 together. Okay, row 2 for the repeat, going to chain up 4 because our last stitch was a single crochet stitch. So now we need an arch just like we had down here. So chain up 4. Turn the work and double into that single. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but instead of saying double crochet and single crochet all the time, I just shorten it down to double or single. And I hope I'm still clear, but you know, saving on the syllables here. Okay, so I did my chaining up of 4 and then my double into that first single. So then single into the center double. So single. Okay, and then into the single down below, we need a double, chain 2, another double into the same stitch, chain 2, and a third double into that same stitch. There we go. So we've got our 3. And then into the middle double, single, and then into the single down below, double, chain 2, another double into the same stitch, chain 2, and a third double. There we go. And then into the middle double, do a single. And then at the very end, into that single on the end, double, chain 2, double. Okay, so that is row 2 for the repeat. Okay, let's do row 3 again. Okay, so row 3 for the repeat. So we just did an arch, so now we need to start off with a single. So chain up 1, turn the work, single into the top of this double here, and then into the single, do a double, chain 2, double in the same stitch, chain 2, and double in the same stitch. Okay, into the center double, do a single, into the single down below, double, chain 2, double, chain 2, and double. Single into the middle double, into the single down below, double, chain 2, double, chain 2, and double. Okay, and then at the end, going into the second chain from the bottom with a single crochet. Now, another alternative that you could employ would be, instead of going into actually one of the chains, you could just go into the space and do your single crochet. That is viable as well. I don't judge. I've done that sort of thing myself. However, I find that it does create a cleaner edge if you actually go into the chain. Totally up to you. As long as you're happy, then I'm happy for you. And there you go. So we did a full repeat, and as you can see, it does work up nice and quickly. Absolutely love it. Alrighty, my dears, so that concludes today's tutorial for the spatter stitch. Yes, absolutely love its simplicity, its laciness, and the staggering of our little cluster deals. Absolutely love it, and I hope you did too. And if you did, give a little thumbs up button down below. As always, you know I appreciate your appreciation. And for more, do hit that subscribe button because I do post often, whether it's crocheting or knitting or audiobook narration or origami or some fun in the kitchen, all sorts of things, more goodies to come. Don't you worry. And of course, also, I have my other YouTube channel, Fiber Spider Games, where I do video game playthrough and commentary. Would love to see you there too. It's a lot of fun. So, until next time, my dears, you know what to do. I want all of you to stay inspired, stay caffeinated, stay stitching, and please, please stay safe. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now, everybody, and have a great day.